Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your boy Shaheener coming at you with another tier list video, and now we are going over Generation 6 for the Pokemon franchise. And so the first games of this generation, pretty much the only games that had the Kalos region, was Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. We didn't get a Pokemon Z or X2 or Y2. It was just X and Y, and that was the only experience we had in Kalos so far. And also, this was the first generation where they started to have a lot less Pokemon in the generation. I don't remember exactly, but I think that this is the first generation with less than 100 Pokemon introduced altogether. But this was the first generation where they introduced Mega Evolutions, so there are a couple of them in here. They mainly added it for previous generations, so like a lot of Gen 1, then they had Gen 3 with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. This one, there's a few of them. There's a couple regional variants that they introduced later on, and so we will go over all of those. I'm just going to be talking about them, about like my personal favorites, whether it's design or by playing for my experience. So if I have a differing opinion from you, that's fine. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Or just share the video to people if you like, or if you want to make a tier list of your own with the one that I used. Link is down below. I made it myself, so yeah. Enough stalling. Actually, no, let's stall a little bit more. As tradition, we'll pop a cold one for the boys. You know, I always gotta do it for them. Oh, yeah. And hey, it matches my shirt almost. So first things first, we are back to the regular format of the starter Pokemon being the first 9, instead of like in Generation 5 where they started with Victini and then they went into the starters. So, for the line of grass starters, we have Chespin, Quilladin, and Chestnut. And then we have, for the fire line, we have Fennekin, Braixen, and Delphox. And for the water line, we have Froakie, Frogadier, and Greninja. And also with Greninja, there's ash-greninja, which I will get into in a moment. But first thing, with the Chespin line, I do like Chespin's design. I think it's cute. I don't really understand what it's supposed to be. It's like a squirrel with like a hood. Like that's kind of like a shoo-in, I feel like, for it being a grass type. I don't know. It just doesn't scream being grass type. I'll probably put Chespin into A tier. Actually, no, I'll put it into B tier. I do like Chespin, but Quilladin, on the other hand, is such a meme. It is like, what the hell were they thinking? It looks so stupid. It just ballooned, and the hood thing kind of envelops the whole body, and it gets a big ass tail now. Like, I don't get it. I think it's incredibly stupid. I'm gonna throw Quilladin into F tier. It's just fucking stupid. Chestnut, however, I like. Its arms are disproportionately big, but I do like Chestnut. I believe it's grass fighting, if I remember correctly, which is one of the first, if not the first time that it was shown as a grass fighting Pokemon. So, no, it's one of the first, because we had Breloom beforehand, duh. So, yeah, I'm going to put Chestnut into, I'm going to put it into B tier as well. I do like it, but next up we have the Fennekin line, which, Fennekin I never used. I don't know, it's just another fire-type line that I just didn't care about. I'd probably put Fennekin, I feel neutral about it. I'd probably put into C tier. Braixen, I have no feelings about whatsoever. It's just, I don't know. It reminds me of, what is it, from Digimon? Renamon, I think? So, I'm going to throw Braixen into D tier. It's just whatever. But the final evolution for it, Delphox. They finally broke the cycle of fire fighting types, because Delphox is fire psychic, which is a really, really cool typing. I don't remember off the top of my head if there's a fire psychic type before Delphox. Yeah, I do like Delphox. I just didn't want to bother with the Fennekin line up until then. But I do like it more than the other ones. I'm going to throw Delphox in a B tier. And now we got the Froakie line, which I used Froakie, I want to say, in Y version, I want to say, because in X version, that was my main file. I started with X, and I used Chespin, and then I used Froakie in Y. Yeah, that sounds right. So I'll throw Froakie into... I'll throw Froakie into C tier. I kind of just feel indifferent about it. Frogadier is kind of just like a whatever. It's not only just an awkward middle stage, but it's a forgettable middle stage. I feel the same way about it about Braixen. I have no feelings about it whatsoever. It's like, it's a Pokemon where I was kind of forgetting its name when I was saying it earlier. Yeah, I'm trying out this new, like, NVIDIA, like, background removal thing. And it was working well at first. It's a little bit spotty, but whatever. I'm just going to roll with it. Yeah, but if you don't like it, just tell me in the comments and I'll switch it for the next video. But anyways, we got the final evolution for the Froakie line. We have Greninja and we have the ash-greninja. So regular Greninja is really, really cool. It's a water dark type. It's a really cool design. It's a good Pokemon overall, and the fans seem to love it just right away. Is that it seemed to be picked up very quickly. And I remember there was like some like contest or survey they had of like people's favorite Pokemon, and it got up there like in the top ranks. And I do like it as well. It's probably my favorite out of all the Kalos starters. So I'd have to put Greninja probably into, I'd probably put it in an A tier. It's not like I don't know. I like it, but not as much as, like, other starters, let's say. ash-greninja. So, I guess in the anime, I haven't watched any of the X and Y episodes, but I guess that Ash had some, like, bond with his Greninja, and they morphed into one, so it's, like, a mix of human and Pokemon? I remember getting one from, I think it was, like, the Sun and Moon demo on the 3DS. You'd get the ash-greninja, but I just don't remember using it. I just feel indifferent about it. I probably have to put it into C tier. It's just neutral, I guess. Anyways, now we're getting into everything else. And you can even see right over here, too. There's nothing here. This is literally it. This is a whole generation. So we have Bunnelby and we have Diggersby. So Bunnelby is just a normal type rabbit. It's just a rabbit. I don't know. It's just generic, I guess. It doesn't interest me like a Rattata or Sentret even. So I'll just throw that into D tier. Diggersby is better. It's a normal ground type, but it's still just, I don't know. Its cry is ugly sounding too. I'll play it right now. I don't know. I'll probably throw Diggersby into C tier. Okay, now we have the birds of this generation. So we have Fletchling, Fletchinder, and Talonflame, which the first two stages are normal flying, and then the final stage is fire flying. Actually, I don't remember if Fletchinder's fire flying, but I'm just going to say it's normal flying, unless if I need to correct myself later on. But anyways, Fletchling, it's fine. It's whatever. Just, I'm neutral about it, I guess. Fletchling, I'm going to throw into C tier. Fletchinder, I don't know. Like, honestly, none of them really did much for me. I probably put Fletchinder into D tier. I do like that they have a fire flying type, finally, for like an early stage, for an early accessible Pokemon, but I never used it. I don't know. I'm whatever about it. I'd probably throw Talonflame into C tier, I guess. Now we have the bugs of this generation. We have Scatterbug, Spupa, and Vivillon. Whatever. I don't know. This generation's pretty whatever in my opinion. Scatterbug I have to throw into D tier. It just looks dorky, and I don't care about it at all, especially compared to like Caterpie or Weedle or something. I just don't care about it. Spupa is the same thing. I don't know. I don't hate it, but it's not something where I feel neutral about either. I'm just whatever. Vivillon, I think, is cool in concept. It's a bug flying type, so same as the other ones. But every like physical region in the world gets their own version of Vivillon's wing pattern. And so the one that I have on the screen is the Pokeball pattern, which you got by like a special event. But like Vivillon has all these different designs, and I know on Pokemon Home people look for all the different color variants or wing variants of Vivillon, which I do like that, but other than that, I wouldn't use a Vivillon on my team, like, ever, so I throw Vivillon into C tier. So now we have Litleo and Pyroar, and as you can see, there's two Pyroars, basically just based off female or male. And so Litleo, they're normal fire types, I believe, which is also pretty cool. I'd probably throw Litleo into C tier, indifferent about it, like all the others. Pyroar, I loved the design, but I never used them. I don't know why I didn't use it. I really don't, but I do like them. I'd probably throw both of those into B tier, though. I do like the designs. Anyway, so this was the first generation that introduced fairy types. And so these are our first official fairy types, because they did change some of the typings of previous Pokemon to integrate fairy typing. Like Meryl and Azumarill turned into water fairy, Gardevoir is fairy psychic, so on and so forth. There's some others that changed, but this was the first pure fairy line and the first new Pokemon that have the fairy typing in it. So we have Flabebe, Floette, and Florges, which also with these Pokemon, they do have different flower petal color variants as well, which I think is interesting. I don't know, it seemed like that they had a little bit of that this generation. I don't really feel anything towards any of them, honestly. I don't hate any of them, but I don't feel any strong ways. They are just there. Now we have normal grass. I feel like there's a number of them where they integrate normal types more. But yeah, we have Skiddo and we have Go-Go, which I was trying to use Skiddo / Go-Go in my recent Pokemon X Nuzlocke, but I failed, unfortunately. But I remember Skiddo was doing pretty good for me until it died. But yeah, I'd throw Skiddo. Same with everything else. It's just neutral. See, but Go-Go, I'd probably throw into BA. I do like his design, but that's as far as it goes. We have Pancham and we have Pangoro, which I believe are fighting dark types, if I remember correctly. And I always get mixed up what generation these were introduced in. I always thought for some reason it was introduced in Generation 5, but nope, it's Generation 6. Pancham is kind of cool looking, I guess, but I mean, Pangoro, I do like a little bit more. I feel like I have to put it in the same spot as I would Go-Go. It's just, it's good. I never used it, but I wouldn't be opposed to using it. Next up, we have Furfrou. So the Kalos region is based off of France, and so they had the Poodle over here, Furfrou, which is pure normal type, and you could give it like haircuts at a groomer to change its appearance. So you could give it like a heart-shaped tail or something like that. Just like all different haircuts. I'll put it on the screen. But this is just neutral, just matted hair form, I guess. I never cared for Furfrou. Never used it. It's a single stage normal type, so it's pretty much less incentive for me to use it. It's not even as good as like Tauros and Kangaskhan. So I'm just going to throw into D tier. It's whatever. Now we have psychic types. We have Esper, and then we have Meowstic, which they have the male and the female for the blue and white respectively. Forgettable. They're just forgettable to me. I straight up, like, before I started making this video, I had to look them up and be like, what are they again? Yeah, they're just, I don't know. They're just not interesting to me. This generation just overall really isn't that interesting. I probably have to put Esper into D tier. I'd probably put, honestly, all of these in the D tier. They're just, I don't know. There's nothing about this generation so far that's, like, really stuck with me. On the flip side, though, we have, so it's Honedge, Dual Blade, and Aegislash. They are Steel Ghost type, I believe? Yeah, Steel Ghost. And so I think Honedge and Dual Blade are okay. Aegislash, though, is really good. Not only as design, but just usage as well. I'd probably put Honedge and Dual Blade into C tier, but Aegislash is probably my first where it's S tier. It's just freaking awesome, and its shiny is really, really cool, too. I really like the shiny for Aegislash. But, anyways, we have more fairy types. We have Spritzy, Aromatisse, Swirlix, and Slurpuff. And I don't like any of them. I think they're all really dumb. I've never used them. I don't have any desire to use them. And it's just, they're just stupid to me. Like, I don't know. I don't like any of these whatsoever. I'm just throwing them all into F tier. They're just dumb. We have Inkay and we have Malamar. And so this one, the evolution method was very unique. Is that when you reach the certain level for Inkay to evolve, you have to physically rotate your 3DS upside down because the 3DS has a gyroscope in there. And so it could detect like what orientation it's in. So you have to flip it upside down while it levels up or while the battle ends and then evolves like that, which I think is super cool in concept. But I never use them. I don't know. I feel neutral about both of them, honestly. I don't hate them. They're just meh. But the evolution method is cool, and I'm pretty sure, I have a feeling that it's the same way on Sword and Shield and How to Evolve, and you have to flip your switch around because that's gyro. But, yeah. Anyways, so we have water rock types, we have Binacle, and we have Barbaracle. And I think Binacle is kind of dumb. I don't completely despise it, but I just think it's stupid. I'd probably throw a Binacle into D tier. But Barbaracle, I do like. I like Barbaracle's design. Not my favorite, but I do like it. I could appreciate it. I probably throw Barbaracle into B tier. So we have Skrelp and we have Dragalge. But Dragalge is a poison dragon type, which when I found out that there was a poison dragon type, the first one, I was so stoked. But I got it, and I had it on my team, and it sucked. Its stats were terrible, and it just couldn't kill anything. It couldn't battle its way out of a paper bag, basically. It was just the most wasted potential for usage on a poison dragon type ever. So, like, Skrelp, I'd probably have to throw into C tier. Dragalge, I would have put to S tier if it was good, but I just have to put it into B tier. It was just squandered by how, like, weak it was. It was very sad, honestly. Like, I wanted the most for it, but it's just... Nope. Okay, so now we got actual water types. We got Clauncher and Clovitzer. Clauncher... I don't know, it's there. Neutral about it, we're throwing back in the sea. Clauncher, or Clovitzer, I do like, but... I don't know, not much more than Clauncher, I guess. It's just a whatever. It just has more of a giant, like, extra claw cannon thing. But that's really it. Now we have normal electric types, if I remember correctly. It's Helioptile and Heliolisk. I know that they're supposed to be lizards, but Helioptile looks almost like a really shitty dog. I can barely see it as a lizard. It just looks like a dog. I don't know. I can't get my mind past it that it's not supposed to be a dog. But anyways, I'll throw Helioptile into C tier. Heliolisk I'd probably put into B tier. I do like Heliolisk. Haven't used one, but I do like it. Okay, so now we have our fossil types. So we have Tyrunt and Tyrantrum, and we have Amora and Aurorus. So Tyrunt, Tyrantrum, they're rock and rock dragon, which I do like that typing. That's very, very, very awesome. I probably throw Tyrunt into B. I throw Tyrantrum into S tier. I thought that was about time they had like a T-Rex. Well, no, they had Rampardos, but I think Tyrantrum is a better fossil dinosaur than Rampardos. It's awesome. And I also got one named Haha Greg. We have Amora and Aurorus, which are ice rock types. And I ended up using it on my X playthrough, on my main playthrough, and I swear on my life, I did not expect Aurorus to be this good, and it ended up being my favorite Pokemon of Generation 6. Just flat out, Aurorus is my favorite. I think it might be my bias towards ice types, but Aurorus is easily my favorite Gen 6 Pokemon. It is really good, its design's great, I love everything about it. I probably have to throw Amora into A tier, but Aurorus is, I mean, obviously goes without saying it's S tier. It's just, oh my god, it's so good. I love it. I love it. Okay, next up, we have Hawlucha, which is a fighting flying type. And I like it. I never got around to using it, but I do really, really like Hawlucha. It's very strong, too. Like, this thing, it's a bastard. Its shiny is really cool, too. I ended up getting one from a Dynamax adventure. I think I'd have to throw it, though, into A tier. I wouldn't put it into S, but I do like Hawlucha quite a bit. Yeah, next up we have the Pikachu clone, which is Dedenne. So it's electric fairy type, because, you know, they have to slap in the fairy type to get that gimmick across, I guess. But, it's a Pikachu clone. Throwing into D tier. I don't like it, really. It's probably one of my least favorite Pikachu clones, honestly. It's just, I don't care about it. Next up, we have Carbink, which is a rock fairy type. And also, I don't care about it. It is pretty much useless. It seemed like it would have a relation to Diancie, which we'll talk about later, and it kind of does, but I thought that it maybe might have had some evolution relation, but no, it doesn't. Carbink I'd throw into D tier. Next up, we have our dragons, which also I believe would be considered one of our pseudo-legendaries. So we have Goomy, we have Sliggoo, we have Goodra. And they're Hisuian variants. They actually, for some reason, gave them his regional variants in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And so the regular Kalos line is Pure Dragon. And I thought it would have been awesome. I mean, Gumi's design is so cute. I freaking love it. I'm throwing Gumi in S tier. Is just beautiful. I love it. Sliggoo, I like it, but not as much. I'd probably put Sliggoo into B tier, I guess. And Goodra, I would probably put in A tier, but it's more defense oriented, and I play offense most of the time. So it's just like I tried using it and it just wasn't as good as I hoped. So I think I kind of just axed it. Now we have the Hisuian variants, which are Dragon Steel type. I don't like them as much, really at all. I think Hisuian Sliggoo is F tier. Honestly, I don't like it at all. Hisuian Goodra looks depressed. I don't know. Looks like it needs some help. I'd probably put it into D tier. No, I'd probably put an F tier. I think it's really stupid. I'm just gonna leave it there. This is probably the Pokemon where I mentioned it before in the Generation 5 video, where there are some Pokemon where people were like, oh, Game Freak has run out of ideas on Pokemon. They don't know what they're doing anymore. Yeah, this is also an example of what people don't like. It's just a set of car keys. It's a fairy steel type, I think, I want to say. Or it's just fairy type. I know it has something related to fairy. But I do think it's stupid, but I don't think they've run out of ideas. Yeah, I do think it's pretty stupid, though, but yeah, I throw Klefki into F tier. Just because it's just useless. It's not that good. I don't know. I just felt nothing about Klefki. Okay, next up, we have some ghost Pokemon, some spooky ghost Pokemon. So we have Phantump and we have Trevenant for our first two. And so these are ghost grass types. I think I ended up getting it because the design was cool, but I ended up falling in love with Trevenant. Phantump I think is pretty good. At least design-wise, I do think it's alright. But Trevenant is so fucking awesome. Like, I love Trevenant. Great design, great usage in battle. It's just awesome. And it's also, its shiny is really cool too. But I have not joined the shiny Trevenant club yet, so I will be there soon. So we'll put Trevenant into S tier. So now we have Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist. And so they have something slightly interesting about them, is that like all the sizes of these two Pokemon could be dependent on like when you catch, or I guess they're random on what size you'll get when you get them. They could be either like really small up to being really big. I think it's something where unless you're like a hardcore collector, it doesn't really matter. I don't think they do anything special. I'd probably have to put Pumpkaboo into D tier. I'd probably put into C tier. And Gourgeist, I'd probably put in the C tier as well. I feel really nothing towards them, although its shiny is pretty cool though. Okay, so now we have the ice types. We have Bergmite and we have Avalugg. And Avalugg also for some reason got a Hisuian variant. So, Bergmite, I don't know, it's okay. Neutral about it. It's just the beginning of an iceberg, I guess. Avalugg, I do like his design quite a bit. I mean, it's obviously going to be a defensive type because it's just a tank. I'd probably have to throw into A tier. I do like it, but I just want more offensive Pokemon. Hisuian Avalugg was also one of the 5 noble Pokemon in Pokemon Legends Arceus. It was one of like the boss Pokemon you'd fight. And it was freaking huge in that battle too. It was like massive. But when you'd fight it in the overworld, it was like maybe like a 1/6 at most of that size. It's Ice Rock type, I believe, for the Hisuian variant. And I just recently caught a shiny one too. I'm fine with it. I don't like it as much as the Kalos Avalugg, but I do like it. Probably have to put it in B tier. Okay, so we got the final 2 Pokemon before we get into our legendaries. So we have Noibat and we have Noivern, which ends up being dragon flying. And I like them. I think Noibat is okay. I'd probably put in the B tier. But Noivern, I think, is really cool. I do like his design. It just looks evil. It's menacing. I'd probably put in the S tier. I think it's really, really cool. So now we have our legendaries. So first up, we have the box legendaries. We have Xerneas and we have Yveltal. Which Xerneas is pure fairy type, and Yveltal is dark flying type. And so, yeah, they named him Xerneas Yveltal because X, Y, sure. And also, you will tell when like the wings are opened out, it looks like the letter Y. I don't know why they called Xerneas when it doesn't look like an X. I don't know. Anyways, I like both of them. I'd probably put Xerneas into A tier, and Yveltal I'd probably put into S tier. I really, really like Yveltal's design. Okay, so now we have the secret legendary Pokemon. Basically, like our Mewtwo, I guess, would be Zygarde. Which I feel like that they were supposed to do Pokemon Z. I don't know why they didn't. They named it Zygarde, but they didn't even do anything with Zygarde until the next generation. Where Zygarde, it's just the one form. It's like post-game, you find it at the bottom of like this cave. And it's Dragon Ground, which is awesome. And it's pretty good. And I also like it shiny, but there's nothing about it until Generation 7. So I'd probably put Zygarde into A tier. But then in Generation 7, it has more of like an elaborate kind of way of getting it. That there's like these different like cells of it and cores, and like if you get like a certain percentage of them, like if you get like 10%, then you get this dog-looking Pokemon of Zygarde. If you get 50%, that's what the first one that we saw was. Like, that's just only half of its power. But then they have the maxed out, like, special full form Zygarde, which is this one over here. The 10% Zygarde, the dog, I think is fine. I'll probably put into B tier. But the full form, the maxed out Zygarde, is freaking awesome looking. It does look like a Digimon, but I really like it. It's definitely my favorite of the three. I put that into S tier. But I just don't know why they couldn't have included that into X and Y. It's not like there's really much in the game to begin with. But anyways, now we're on to our mythicals. So we have Diancie, and there's a Mega Diancie. I think, actually, is this the only Pokemon in this generation that has a Mega? Okay, yeah, this is the only Pokemon in Generation 6 that has a Mega Evolution. Anyways, yeah, so Diancie is Rock Fairy type, and it's okay. I'd probably put Diancie in a B tier. Mega Diancie I do like a little bit more, though. I'd probably put that in A tier. There's nothing much more I could say about it. It has, like, a weird relation to Carbink. I don't know, it didn't help Carbink at all for me. So next up we have Hoopa, and there's two forms of it. There is Bound and Unbound, I believe is what they call it. I forget what type they are. I want to say that they're Fairy Dark. I really can't remember, because these Pokemon were so forgettable to me. I'd probably put Hoopa into D tier, and then the Unbound version I probably put into C tier. I really don't care for them, and honestly I forget about them quite a bit. Yeah, but last Pokemon we got over here is Volcanion, which is a fire water type, which was really cool that they introduced that. And especially because it's like a lot of it's based on like Steam, I guess. I do like Volcanion. They haven't really delved too much into Volcanion, though. They just kind of, like, let it out, it existed, and there it is. But I do like it. I feel like that it could have had potential. But, too bad they didn't make it realize anything. It's just there. So I probably put Volcanion into A tier. But yeah, that is it for Generation 6. It's really, like, one of the smallest generations of Pokemon. There really isn't much to it. So, yeah, if you just want to see over here, that's everything I got. Yeah, so thanks to anybody that tuned in. Again, if you like what you saw, please subscribe. Please comment down below. Like it if you did like it. But, yeah, we got 2 more generations as of right now to go through. And then when Generation 9 comes out, then we'll do that a little bit later on. But, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.